this is Final Fantasy VI Advance. I am playing this. This is my first Let's Play. I chose to do this game because it's one of my favorite video games ever. I started playing this. We rented it from a store called Hastings, and I would just rent it over and over and over again until my mom finally found a copy of it and purchased it for me. That was when it was Final Fantasy III, released in the United States in 1994. It is about this evil empire that wants to gain control of magic and take over the world and generally be evil with it, and the resistance against them. That's a pretty typical Final Fantasy story, good versus evil. This game actually may be the first one that doesn't involve, seeking out a number of crystals. I'm not sure if Final Fantasy V has crystals. I have played it, but it's been such a long time that I don't remember. I know that Final Fantasy IV does, and Final Fantasy III. Real Final Fantasy III, not American Final Fantasy III, which is 6. Anyway, so here's your first crew of people. You got Biggs and Wedge, who are a callback to Star Wars. Biggs and Wedge being the X-Wing pilots who accompany Luke when he goes to they attack the Death Star. And then you have this girl in the back, and they're all going into this town where a magical creature called an Esper has been found in mines. And she's apparently a witch of sorts. They make this comment about frying 50 Magitech soldiers in 3 minutes, which doesn't make sense given some footage are shown later, but I'll discuss that when it comes up. She has what's called a slave crown on her head, and it robs her of all conscious thought. She basically does whatever they tell her. So we're up here on this cliff, which is actually north of the city, and they say they're going to approach from the east, but you actually come in from the south entrance, which is really the only entrance into this town. These are the credits. I'm going to skip them. We're not going to watch them. It's just those 3 Magitech armored soldiers walking across that snowfield for the entire duration, so you're not missing anything. So here we are walking into the town. They put her what they call on point, which is just, you only have one character walking around the map at a time. So you're in this mechanical device called Magitech armor, and it's massively overpowered. You see you have a fire beam, thunder beam, ice beam, and a healing attack. She has a significant amount more. Right now I'm just going to use the fire beam because they're all, except for some of her attacks, they're all about the same strength. You see Biggs and Wedge has gained a level. You're pretty low level at this point, in spite of how overpowered your Magitech armor makes you. You can switch them into the back row. Their damage is not affected. I'm going to turn my battle speed up, and then I'm going to change my magic order to attack healing effect, and then I'm going to change my window color because I don't like the blue window. I would prefer for it to be wrong button. I would prefer for it to be black. So, anyway, like I said, if you switch them into the back row, their damage isn't affected, but it does cut in half the damage that other enemies inflict upon you. So, that's a good thing that you can do here. It doesn't always work out as the damage not being affected, but for the Magitech armor, it does. And we're just going to use the fire beams again because it's pointless to bother with anything else right now. if you had a larger group of enemies, you could go in and you could use some of hers are multi-targeting. But we don't need that right now. So that would have hit for 8 if they'd been in the front row. So you just keep walking north through this area. Right now, this is going to be a pincer attack. For some reason, on the overworld, you have 2 dogs and 2 guards, but in the actual battle, you have 2 guards and 1 dog. Pincer attacks are annoying because it negates your formation. It doesn't account for front row or back row or whatever, and you see there you gain the level. But also you're not able to run from them, which can be kind of problematic when you're in other places. It's not a problem here, but this is just sort of an introduction to fighting dynamics. Here are 4, and so I'll show off one of the girls' multi-target attacks so that we don't have to go through. She has this bioblast. It's pretty cool looking, but it, like I said, it's multi-targeting. And that way we don't have to wait and go through another round of filling up our attack gauges. It's also very overpowered. Magitech armor is pretty ridiculous, honestly. So we're gonna go up here, and this is the entrance to the mines. This is apparently the new mine shaft that they've been digging, and the Esper that we're looking for is in here. You just walk straight, you can go over here and save. This is a save point. You can get instructions on save points. I'm not going to get them. I played this game a few times. Uh-oh. Seeing secrets. Don't look at my secrets. Oops. I got bad aim. Then you walk north through here. Normally I like to walk around a little bit in here and gain a couple of levels for her. But I'm not going to do that this time. It would just be, it would be footage I would cut out anyway. Biggs and Wedge gain quite a few levels. I'm not sure why they're set up to do that. It's pretty pointless. You walk up to this gate, I guess, and one of the guys offers to take care of it. Boom! The gate's gone, and you continue forward. Oh wait, no you can't. So there's a guard here. He's gonna sick the boss of this section on you, and then they're gonna explain how to fight it right here. This is a lightning whelk. In the Final Fantasy III version, the American version, it's called, the monster's name is actually Whelk. Basically, there are 2 parts of it. The worm part at the front, and then the shell. If you attack the shell, he's going to use, I think, Bolt on you, and it's going to... Oh, shit, that sucks. So what he just used on her is the, it gave her the slow status, which means her attack gauge is going to fill up slower. It's super fucking annoying, and it's going to make this fight take a lot longer. With her, you want to use the Magitech missile. It's really strong, and it helps the fight be over faster. You don't necessarily have to do it that way, but that's the recommended way to battle this monster. I'm gonna hold off on her. Whoops. and use healing force with one of the boys because she is slow. I don't want to lose her full ATB gauge because the monster's coming back. So double check and make sure that you're on the worm. Hit it. It usually only takes a couple of rounds through their attacks to defeat this monster. See there, it's dead. It's not too bad. It's pretty easy. I remember when I first started doing this, I guess I didn't pay that much attention to what they were telling me, and I would attack the shell. That prolongs the fight quite a bit because you spend a lot more time healing yourself because he does attack you in turn. And his attacks are relatively strong comparative to the other monsters in the area. So this is the Esper that we've been sent to find. It's frozen in a block of ice. It's pretty beefy. It's just like a creepy monster, man. The monster and the girl have some kind of rapport. Light starts flashing. Guards freak out. Biggs and Wedge get disappeared into the ether. And that's why it's pointless for them to gain so many levels. Like, they're dead. They're gone. You're never gonna see these people again in this game. Thanks, Frozen Esper. And then he does this magic lightning thing and blows up her Magitech armor. And now she's in a bed. How she got in that bed, we just don't know. Did this guy pick her up and bring her here? Now we get out of the bed, we're awake, here's what we look like out of our Magitech armor. I'm going to walk out here, and if you walk up to this clock, you can get an elixir. And then you can go back and talk to this guy. You do have other opportunities to get that in the game, but you can get it now, so why wait? So he took the slave crown off of her, and now she has free will. But she also has amnesia because of it. She doesn't know who she is, where she came from, anything like that. But she does miraculously remember her name. Or whatever name you want to give her. I'm going to leave her name as Terra. She's made of tougher stuff than most. So, the people of Narshe, or Narsh, or however you say it, I don't really know how it's supposed to be said, really super don't want this girl here. They're pretty upset with the Empire, and they want this girl. They want to kill her. She needs to flee, so he's going to have her go out the back door in the least stealth escape ever of all time. He tells her to make her way out through the mines. So what you do is you walk out this door, and then you walk across this bridge in the open where everyone in town can see you. And like, is there a possibility these guards don't know where this bridge leads? I doubt it. So you walk through here. This is the mines. There are bosses, or not bosses, there are monsters in here. They're not that strong. You can use her fire attack to take them out pretty quickly. Otherwise, it takes 2 hits per monster. I hate that attack. Any monster that wants to get the last hit really is just not my friend. There's another save point right here. You can go ahead and save. If that's what floats your boat. I like to make a habit of saving whenever possible. I like these spritzers the best of the monsters that are in here because they don't attack when you've killed them. Unlike the stupid little weird looking imp wrench dudes. She gained another level, that's good. And you can walk to the right over here and up, and there's a chest, and it's got a phoenix down in it. And there's another one over to the left, across this bridge. If you walk all the way across. Here's the third type of monster in this area, which is the were-rat. They're not hard, just like everything else in this area. And then you can cross and pick this up, and it's a sleeping bag, which is like a tent, but for one person. So when you use it, it heals all your status ailments and cures your HP and MP completely. Damn wrench attack again. It's really pissing me off. I'm gonna kill it harder next time. So you walk up here, and there's a door. Oh wait, no, there are guards coming. She runs toward the door, but there are more guards. See, that's what happens when you don't make a stealth escape. Everybody knows where you went, and you fall through a hole in the floor, and you die. Just boom, dead. No more Terra. Dead of stupid. She's a Darwin Award recipient. And then you have this little flashback with Kefka, who is king of the douche canoes. He's just not a good person. He puts the slave crown on her. That's how you know he's a bad person. He laughs. So here's the part that makes the comment about her frying Magitech soldiers make no sense. She's using the Magitech armor's fire beam to kill them. So that doesn't make her any different from any other Magitech armor wearing soldier. They can all do that in Magitech armor. It doesn't have anything to do with her magical abilities. Just a little trip up there, guys. So now you're going to see our lovely Emperor Gestal and his cohorts here. Kefka, General Leo, and General Celeste. With Terra there in the background. Anyone who says we are the chosen ones is probably not a great person. Like, that's how you know bad things are going to happen. Long live Emperor Gestal. Also, for some reason, Kefka, Leo, and Celeste are not raising and lowering their arms at the same time. Like, Kefka's is slightly slower or something. It's terrible. I notice it every time, and it's just, like, couldn't we program that a little better? So now we're back in town with the man. And here's another man. Who is this? Why, this is Locke. Another of our main characters. You know, I say main characters, but there are about 15 playable characters in this game. He does not like to be called a robber or a plunderer. He prefers to be called a treasure hunter. He has the steal ability, which is sort of ironic because he doesn't like to be called a thief. He met the girl. Locke's very concerned about the girl. They work with this underground resistance group called the Returners, and they want Narsh to join in with it, but Narsh doesn't care to do so. So, he sends Locke to rescue the girl. Locke's badass. He just jumps through the hole in the floor. Checks it out. Uh-oh. What's happening here? Oh, right. 100 guards. Or just one. No. Definitely 100. Or like... oh. But still, that's a lot of guards to fight when you're just one person. But guess what? Here's Mughals. Mughals are the greatest. I love the Moogles. I think that's actually why I picked this game up, because there's a Moogle on the box of the original SNES version. And I'm sure that 9-year-old me was like, hey, those are really cute. Let's rent this game. Plus, I think I'd played like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest or something like that. Maybe Final Fantasy 2 at that point. I'm not going to get the explanation here. What happens is you have 3 parties. You have Locke's party, which is now filled out with 3 Moogles, and you can hit the Y button, or actually it's the select button in this version, and you can walk these Moogles down. I'm going to move this one over here, and this one over here to the left. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle over to this one, and I'm going to walk him down. This party has this Moogle called Mog in it. Mog is my favorite. Mog's a little badass. Mog is actually one of the playable characters in this game, but you don't get Mog until much, much later. He has the dance ability. As you can see, I mastered a new dance right there. I'm doing much better this go through. These Megalodoths have a really annoying attack, the snowstorm attack, that it hits everyone, and it's 40 HP for every person, and I'm gonna smack it in the face. Anyway, what you do is you can walk whichever team you choose down to the boss down here, which is a guard. Oops, I didn't make it. Locke got attacked first. I think you're supposed to take this team down there because these Moogles are a little stronger. But I like Mog better. I'm partial. I'm biased. I don't care. Can I make it so I don't have to fight another boss? Oh, can I do it? Can I do it? I did it! I did it! Yay! So this is 2 silver lobos and a guard leader. Which means you don't have to deal with that effing snowstorm attack that I hate. I'm gonna use Mog's dance ability, and then I'm gonna attack the other one. Snare actually works on the guard, which I did not know until recently. That makes this fight a lot easier, because you just hit the lobos and it's over. But you can't control what Mog does with the dance ability. There's several attacks. There's one called Cave-In, that's a really kind of garbage attack. There's one called Will-O-Wisp, which is a really strong attack. But you don't have control over it. Mog just does whatever. So Locke picks her up, and he runs out. And he's running. And he's running. And he puts her down. And then he's going to go pull the switch on the wall over there that you can see in the back to open up this hole in the wall so that they can get out. You can probably hear my dog drinking water in the background right now. She has lost her memory. Locke kind of has a thing for girls with amnesia. That also gets explained later on in the game. It's just, you know, his sensitive man pain. Every man's got some man pain. Locke's happens to involve girls with amnesia. So you come out of the wall and you walk over here. I actually don't have control of him right now. And here's the entrance of Narsh. You can walk up this way, and you cannot go into this city. It's bad news bears. So you have to run and hide behind the wall. And then he says you better hightail it south to Figaro, which actually you've already been told at this point. You can go in here. It's a little school, adventuring school I think it's called. But there's some stuff in here that you can get. You can hit up this bucket, which is healing spring water. You can get full HP and MP. There's a save point and a monster in a box. This is not a hard monster in a box. Later on in the game, the monsters in boxes might as well be bosses, because they are harder than some of the bosses in this game. You get ether from the pot here. And you go into the more advanced classrooms down here. There are also chests in them, but there's nothing in the pots in these rooms because I don't know why. Just chose not to. Now these guys will explain a lot of the game mechanics if you walk around and talk to all of them. Status ailments, what the little glowy outlines of your character, like you saw when Tara had the slow status on her. Slow, haste, shell, stop, all kinds of things. So you walk out of the city and you walk south. So south. I don't like fighting in the forests. I don't know that it's actually more difficult. I super don't like fighting in the desert. You can use Tara's fire ability. It just makes things a little easier. It also makes it funnier because Locke apparently doesn't know what magic is, which you will see in a little cutscene in a little while. Shit. I never use the steal ability unless it's for an actual game advancing reason, which you will see later. But I just, like, I have no use for that. I just don't know, man. No use for that. I'm sure there are people that like it, people that use it. I'm just not that person. In the bottom right corner, you can see the little mini map, and you can actually, the white dots are places you can go. So we are going into Figaro Castle, where this guy's going to stop us, but then he decides we can go ahead and go into the castle. You can explore the castle now, well, no, you can't, because there's just guys standing in front of the doors. You actually need to walk straight through to talk to the king. And here's the king in the throne room, sitting on his throne. He is obsessed with women. He's probably overcompensating for something. There's this weird commentary about how he's turned his back on a lady, and like that's offensive, and I don't get it because I guess I'm too young, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, his name is Edgar. He's the king of Figaro. And these dudes are dude broing, and then they run off. And he turns his back on her again. She doesn't get mad about that. Like he wasn't walking away the first time. And there's this whole, like, sub plot about how Tara maybe doesn't know how to love or something like that, and she thinks it's because of her abilities, but like, it's just a really strange subplot given the overarching plot of the game. Like, she's just not attracted to this dude. Like, don't be attracted to him. He's weird and gross. He flirts with everyone. Pro tip. He's a player. Don't bother with him. So you can go in here, and here is a chest. You can get a gold needle, which I think cures... actually, you can buy them right here. Cures petrification. Sorry. You can also buy ethers. I can't afford them. You have some sleeping bags. I just bought some potions because that'll help me out later on, so I don't have to use all of Tara's MP curing. You talk to this guy. You want to buy a noise blaster and let me go down. Come on, keyboard. And a bio blaster. For the tools command, which neither of your characters have yet, but it's Edgar's special ability. It's pretty cool. I like it. I'm into it. So once you've done that, you can go out, and these guards will have moved. You can go to the right, but you're going to have to go over there in a little while anyway, and there's not really anything over there. You can go in here, and you can talk to these girls about how much they flirt with King Edgar, and or have a little nap because it's the inn, you want to walk down these stairs and go outside. This chocobo guy is going to get in your way nearly every time you go outside. It's just a race to see who can get to the spot faster. So you can go in here and you can go to talk to this lady, and it's going to trigger a cutscene about Edgar's twin brother. Edgar's twin brother spends a lot of time in the gym, and he always skips leg day. Also, he doesn't understand, death and dying for some reason. I don't know how old these characters are supposed to be, but he ought to be old enough to know about people dying. And maybe about people crying. This is Sabin. He has a pretty cool skill set. He'll show up later in the game. He's a fine young man. I like how it says he's even smaller than his brother. Does Edgar skip leg day too? I just don't know. So after you talk to that lady, you can walk over here. And going back, you don't really have to get thwarted by the chocobo guy. He just gets on my nerves so much. And now you want to go back to the throne room. You can stop in the middle here and talk to the Chancellor. I'm not going to. I don't care. It doesn't affect anything. Here's Edgar, sitting on his throne. How do you like his castle? It's a castle. Someone's here to see you. It's Kefka. This music always heralds Kefka doing some bad shit. Kefka is a D-bag. I want to call him so many names. He doesn't like having sand on his boots. He's so stupid. I'm exhausted already. Like, he had them brush his boots off, but shouldn't they have waited until he got onto the steps so there wouldn't be more sand on his boots by the time he got inside? Not that there's not sand all over this castle anyway, but Jesus. Ugh. So you go down here, you actually have to talk to these guards. Otherwise it won't let you speak with Kefka, and you have to speak with Kefka to advance the story. So, here's Kefka. He's the court mage. He's not actually a general, even though he hangs out with all the generals. It's probably good not to let him have that much power. Also, they mentioned him being court mage. Like, it's not a big deal that he can use magic, which it would be. I don't know. There's a lot of weird, confusing shit in this game, and it's like, I think, and maybe it's translation issues. I just don't know. And also, this version is slightly different from what I am familiar with, because this is a, first of all, I'm playing on an emulator, because I wanted to be able to actually record it, and I can't do that with my DS. I don't have the ability, but it's also the European version, which I had to get to actually correct the sounds in this game, because apparently the sound on the Advance is actually really, really bad. So this is a ROM that's just been patched to have the original sounds. I think I also have this game on my Wii. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna pretend like I don't use my Wii for anything, but like, so you have to follow Locke. This is the library where you saw the little cutscene with Sabin of the No Leg Day. You have to go right over here. A Dodge Chocobo guy. Almost went off the map. Whoops. Attention. You go up here, and this is your room. This is where you're gonna be sleeping. He does not like to be called a thief. Everything's very complicated. He explains the returners. The old man from Narsh, whose name is actually Arvis, she's an Imperial soldier. They were using her. It was very bad. She doesn't know what to do. She gets a headache when she tries to think. This game is really sexist, actually. Like, God. Make your own decisions. Don't think too hard. You'll know what you want to do. Yeah, trust your gut, Tara. Get in that bed, have a nap. It's not like you've been unconscious half the time you've been on screen or anything. But I guess that's not napping. So the music changes over to this Emperor heralding Bad News Bears sort of music, and you flash over to Edgar. He's in his bed. Something bad is happening. All of his servants are gone. He moves very quickly. That's how you know it's not me controlling him. Figaro is on fire. Who could possibly have done this thing? Oh, right. Kefka. Kefka wants the girl. Edgar's lying. Welcome to Kefka's barbecue. Walk up here. Talk to the dude. Get ready. What are we getting ready for? To flee. Flee on Chocobo back. Yeah, he is kind of abandoning his people. That's not cute. What the hell is happening? How are these towers moving? This is really weird. This is some real steampunk madness here. Super technologically advanced castle sinks into the sand. Steampunk madness. Leaves Kefka laying on the desert. He sends some Magitech armor after us. He's a douchebag. So this is the boss fight for this section. Now you have some Magitech armors. Ow. Ow. Use fire. Well, you can have a fun little cutscene if you use fire. The boys freak out. Edgar's never seen magic before, even though he called Kefka the court mage. Like, think this through, game. Locke apparently doesn't know what magic is. Stutters. Secrets don't make friends, boys. Your name was Tara, right? He's such a douche. These boys are terrible. They're stupid. They're getting on my nerves. She winks at them. They swoon. They're idiots. Auto crossbow is my favorite. Stop hitting me. Really, fire and auto crossbow are your best friend. Yay, we won and nobody died this time. I did a previous run through of this, and Locke died, and it was very unfortunate. Because I don't want to waste my Phoenix Downs this early. Tara doesn't know life yet. You leave Kefka standing in the middle of the desert, and he yells, "Son of a sandworm!" Which is different in this translation. In the original translation, it's son of a submariner. Submariner? Submariner. The actual version is son of a bitch. It's all very PG. Although you can say bitch in PG, I think. You say it on TV. On Fox at 9 o'clock at night. She's freaking out again. They're members of the Returners. They want her to meet their leader because she can use magic. The Esper reacted to her magical powers. That actually really does get explained later. Why she has this power naturally. How no human can be born with these powers, but Tara has them. Etc., etc., etc. Spoiler alert, she's not human. These dudes are super pushy. So we're gonna go to this cave. It's a cave. To South Pharaoh. It's over here to the right. It's hard to find anything on your mini-map when you have the damn desert bleaching everything out. Anyway, so you get off your chocobo. And this is the cave that we're gonna go into. And I'm gonna save. And I'll see you next time.